everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better today. Still dealing with tiredness though, from the whole denture thing I'm going through. And I just went to my little local DK store and talked to this guy that I adore. He's just the sweetest thing. Always puts me in a good mood. His name is Troy. And he also has dentures. And he was like, it's normal. What you're going through is normal. It's okay. Because I told him I'm getting a sore up here so bad that there's no way I can go in for any adjustments until these gums heal. Until then I can wear my dentures. I'm not even going to mess with it now. I don't care what anybody says. I cannot go through that pain. But he assured me it was all normal. He's like, yep, you get the sores in the beginning, you get this. So it felt good to have somebody reassure me. But anyway, today's video is about missing my mom. How many of you miss your mom because she has passed on? And I woke up today missing her so much. It was so strange, guys. I woke up and I was kind of in a mood because I didn't want to get out of bed. and then I started thinking about my mom, and I thought, why is she on my mind so much? Well, I realized this is her birthday month. She was born June 15th. And so I don't know, maybe that's why she was came into my mind. I don't know, but I was just thinking about her. And gosh, I miss my mother. You know, after your mother has passed away, there are so many things that you think about that you wish might have been a little different, you know? Like there are times I think, God, I wish I would have visited her more. I wish I would have talked to her more on the phone. I wish, I don't know, I wish, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just, you start thinking about little things that you can't do anything about. You can't do a thing about because they're gone. Sometimes I think, God, I wish I would have listened to my mom a little bit more. And by listen, I mean, or had more conversations with her. You know what I mean? Because when you're, in my case, when my mom was around and everything, and I was married with 5 kids, my life. And then I had a terrible marriage, so my life was kind of messed up. And so it was not, I guess you could say because of all the whatever going on in my life, I didn't give my mother as much attention as I think I should have. But I visited her, I called her all the time. I always called my mom, if I was down or if something good happened, if something happy happened, I would call her. And thankfully at that time there was no texting. It was actually calling and talking to my mom and hearing her voice and us hearing each other. I'm so grateful. The cell phones and computers and stuff were around by the time she died. She died in 2008. So yeah, it was around. But they didn't use any of that technology. So if I wanted to talk to my mom, I had to call her. If I wanted to see her, I'd call her. Hey mom, can I come over, tomorrow, whatever. So basically it was like not having the technology because they didn't use it. They wanted no part of it. Not a cell phone. I think my dad had one if I remember. I can't really remember. But yeah, so I'm just missing my mom. How many of you guys are missing your mother? And I think of things like when I would go to their house and my mom was forever in the kitchen. I swear it'd be a miracle if I went to their house and she was not in the kitchen. I don't know how that always worked out. She was making one thing or another. But I am missing her today, so I just wanted to share my emotions with you, what I'm feeling today, and maybe you're feeling the same way. And I think about their garden. Oh, my dad used to have that yard like uh, it was just magical. It was magical the way he took care of it. He lived out there. No, baby. He lived out there, and all her roses and flowers and statues and things in the yard. They would put like little deer and all kinds of things in their yard to make it real cute, you know. And my dad growing all his vegetables, and then they had fruit trees galore, massive fruit trees, and always got tons of fruit, you know. I miss all of that. I miss it so much. I miss walking in and just smelling whatever she was cooking at the time. And isn't it weird how smell can really trigger something? You can go somewhere public or someone's house and maybe they're cooking, there's something cooking that smells like what your mother made, and it's just overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, that reminds me of home. How many of you have done that? God, it's a struggle to talk without the top teeth. I'm doing the best I can, guys. But yeah, that has happened before. That has happened where I'll smell something and it's, oh man, it takes me straight back to their house. It's just like, oh, that smells like Mom's cooking. It's so weird how that works, and it's amazing how that just the scent of something can bring back a million memories. And gosh, I'm missing her. I want so much to just go to that house and see her in there and just sit down on that dining room table, because there was their kitchen, and then right there was a dining, and then right off the kitchen was a dining room table. So everybody always ended up sitting at the dining room table for who knows what reason. That's just the way it worked out. And because you could look right into the kitchen. It was connected. And oh, how I wish I could go and just sit. And there's my mother busy doing something in the kitchen as usual. I miss her so much today, guys. It's that heart-tugging kind of, you know, that feeling in your heart where you just miss them, just miss totally. Yeah, it's just one of those days that I want to see her. My mom, oh, my mother when she was young, oh, she was beautiful. She was just beautiful. She had like the 1940s, 50s beauty, you know what I mean, with that look. I don't know how to explain it. She was very, very pretty. She had that. I remember when she would dress up, and I always used to think, gosh, she looks so pretty. You know, she just looked really pretty. Yeah, so it's just one of those days, guys. I miss my mom. I want my mom. The guy at the store was talking about how they're discovering how to regrow teeth, right? And he was talking about, wouldn't that be great if we could regrow our teeth? And I told him, yeah, and then we'd be going through all the teething pain like babies, you know, Mom, I want mommy, you know, and he goes, yeah, that's true. He goes, well, back in the day they used to rub a little Jack Daniels on the gums and soothe the babies. And I said, yeah, I remember my parents doing that to one of my sons when he was teething. My dad rubbed a little Jack Daniels on his gum, and yeah, he did okay. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm just missing my mom, and wish I could have one of her hugs, and wish when things weren't going well, she would always say, this too shall pass. She would always say, this too shall pass. Don't worry, this too shall pass. And she was a great seamstress. My mother, oh, she would make us some beautiful clothes. One of my fondest memories is she made an Easter dress for me that was made out of blue velvet. It was a blue velvet dress. It was beautiful. And then I wore I was a little girl, and I wore a white shirt, long sleeve shirt under this jumper type of dress. And it was a gorgeous blue velvet. I always remember that dress. I loved it as a little girl. It was just one of those things that, oh, I don't know. The memory that it brings up of how good I felt as a little girl wearing that particular dress. And she made lots of our clothes. My mom was very talented. She was a great cook. She was a great seamstress. She kept a very clean house, which I'm very grateful for. My mother, we had our chores. There was no fooling around. We had our chores before we got to start our day. We would get up, eat breakfast, do our chores, then we could go play. And I'm grateful that my mother was such a clean mother, because I like having a clean house too. I mean, she liked a clean home, and I'm very grateful for that. She made sure everything was clean, no matter what it was. It was like, it needs to be clean. It's in your home. It makes you feel better. I remember her saying one time, if things are dirty that are in your home, it doesn't feel as good. No, Lily, come here. And she was right. And so I go around my house like, oh, that needs to be wiped down, or that needs to be dusted, or that. It just makes your home feel more cozy and comfy, in my view. So yeah, I miss, and there are times when I'd go over and they'd both be sitting in the living room in their recliners. They used to have these blue recliners. Each one had their own. And sometimes I'd show up and they're both in their recliners watching TV, you know, and then of course, what's the first thing she'd say? Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? Go see what's in the kitchen, you know. She would always ask if we wanted something to eat. That was just the way it goes. And there was always something. There was always something she was cooking or had made that was in the fridge, or just something to grab, you know, some kind of pastry or cookies or whatever. There was always something to snack on, that type of thing. And so yeah, I'm just in a kind of melancholy mood, missing my mother. And she was born in 1923, so oh my gosh, my math here, 1923. She would, I'm terrible. Hold on, guys. Calculator. Yeah. No, baby. Let me see. Oh my, she would be 102. Oh, most likely not be here. But it doesn't matter. I just miss her so much. And you think about, you know, when you think about how you were growing up, things that you should have known better, but you were young, you were a kid, you know. No, Lily, no. She's too much. You think about things you might have done differently, but you know, when you're kids and you're young, you don't think that way. But then you become an adult and you start thinking, oh, if only I would have been this way at that time, or I would have been this way at another time, you know, or been that way concerning this situation. You think back on that, and sometimes there's some regrets, you know, but you can't do anything about it, so you just got to move forward. But yeah, I think about the safety I always felt. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, so that was wonderful too. I'd get off school, come home, there was always something waiting to eat, or she would make something real quick, whatever. It was such a wonderful feeling to get off school, come home, and my mom was there. Walk in that door, and there's my mom. That was the most wonderful, comforting feeling to me. I remember that. I remember walking home, and back then we walked, so there was no rides everywhere when I was growing up. It was, everybody walked to school. And I remember coming home, I was in grade school, we were living in Santa Fe, and I was walking home from the bus, and it was a good walk from the bus, and it was starting to snow, and it was so cold. And I remember walking into the house, and we lived on a street called Declovina in Santa Fe. and it was snowing, and then I walked in the house. It was so warm, and there was my mom. She was like, come on in, come on in. And she had something cooking on the stove, some kind of soup, and she sat me down, and I got that bowl of soup. I will never forget that wonderful, comfortable feeling of having my mom there every day that I got off of school. It was wonderful. Just, you know, some of those kind of memories. And I don't know, after she passed, going through her stuff in the house and everything, it was so painful. I actually smelled her clothes. I had to smell her clothes just to remember my mother. It was weird to do, to be around all that stuff and know that was my mom's. Looking at her little shoes, she had a size 5 foot. You know, she was short. But yeah, I just had to make this to share my thoughts today. It's just one of those times. You know how random feelings just come out of nowhere? You know, they do. They just come out of nowhere. You're like, where'd that come from? You know, why am I all of a sudden feeling that? And yeah, so. But anyway, guys, I wanted to share my missing my mom. Just one of those days, and I'm healing. For those of you that have been so kind about this whole denture adventure, it's starting to heal really well where that horrible blister was. It's really starting to heal well. So that's making me happy. In fact, I'm going to call the dentist office and tell them I don't even want to come in. I'm not going to have any adjustments done. I was supposed to go tomorrow, but there's no point because it was for adjustments. Well, I'm not popping that thing on and off while I've got this sore, so I think I'm just going to call them and wait till it's healed for any adjustments. But anyway, guys, take care. Share your memories of your mother. Share your thoughts of missing your mother. Share your fondest memories of your mom. Because let's face it, we only had one birth mom. Of course, there are adoptive moms, and they're just as important and just as real. So talk about your mom and what you miss about her and what you loved about her. I love my mom very, very much, and I'd give anything if she was still alive. So take care, guys, and the mom of this guy, or girl, me, says, bye-bye. This is, oops, I smiled without my teeth. Oh no. There we go. Take care, guys. I will talk to you later. And you have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye-bye.